Whatever your feelings are about the Halloween Kills movie, one thing's for sure. David Gordon Green did not skimp when it came to the details of this movie. Most importantly, the Myers house.
Myers house?
Yeah, the Myers house. Fans have been looking for a true representation of this house since the sequels began. And besides Halloween 2, which shows the actual house, no one else has really got it close when they tried. Well, except for Resurrection, kind of. Now, I've always been a location geek and I love visiting locations or watching them on YouTube. And there are many awesome locations in movies, especially horror. But there's just something about the locations from the original Halloween. Like the Wallace house, overall the scariest location in my opinion. The Doyle's house, a great location and used in a few other movies as well. And of course, can't forget the Myers house. And really the Myers house itself is not that special. Even today, it's small and kind of nondescript, but again, that's where it all started. And I think a ton of Halloween fans would agree. It's so cool that they brought it back in Halloween Kills, and what's even cooler, it actually became one of the focal points of the movie. When they first showed the Myers house in the flashback scene, it was pretty impressive. Immediately, I noticed the plywood still covering the portion of the upper left-hand window, as it did in the original. We also got to see the busted window from the drain pipe in Judith's room. All the details of the woodwork and the size of the porch, as well as the house itself, it all seemed pretty spot on. Sticking with the flashback, when Hawkins and the other deputy went into the house, we even got more to look at. First of all, we saw that poor dog that Michael was chewing on. And we got to see another angle of the living room. We were then shown the inner hallway and the closet, the hanging lamp in the hallway, the stairs, the banister, and the smaller details as well. All were pretty much on point. And finally, upstairs, the rooms also appear like they did in the original. Now, of course, the filmmakers took a few liberties as well. For one, what appears to be the original couch where Judith and her boyfriend were getting all horned up, that is still sitting in the same place, in the same angle as it was in 1963. And also it appears that Judith's vanity is still in her room, just in a different place. Plus a couple of other differences. There is now a stained glass window upstairs, which was actually a window covered up by John Carpenter in the original movie. As well as a conveniently placed louvered closet at the end of the hallway, which wasn't there in the original. Now, I thought the flashback representation of the dilapidated Myers house was cool, but the current house is awesome, especially the inside. The renovations just worked. In the original movie, little Michael goes around the house and then through the back, passing through 3 rooms before seeing Judith's boyfriend coming down the stairs. Now, actually, at one time, there was a small addition built to the back of that house. It could have been a porch or something, but I'm really not sure. This addition was removed when they moved the house from the original location. But Kenny Caperton, who built the replica Myers house in North Carolina, said the filmmakers built a kitchen there for the original movie. Now, that's the only time I ever heard that story, so if someone has any other information for me, please let me know. However, either by mistake or design, in Halloween Kills, you can actually see the structures of where all those rooms would have been within the renovation of that house. That is some serious detail. But that's not the only thing. You get to see the whole house this time around. Across the hallway from the living room is now a very cool looking dining room. And when you go upstairs on that same side, there is a very cool looking study. Both of these areas were absent from the original movie. And here's something else. In the original house, both upstairs and down, there were 2 rooms on each side of the main hallway, pretty much separated by walls and doorways. They removed those inner walls in the renovation, converting them into 4 individual areas. This includes combining Michael's and Judith's room into one bigger room upstairs, and the kitchen and living room area downstairs. It's pretty cool. Now, nothing is perfect, so I have to point that out too. This is more of a filming issue, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who noticed it. Though the house is awesome when watching the scenes outside of the Myers house, it's pretty easy to tell it was filmed in a studio. There's just something about it that made it seem like it was filmed inside. Now, I'm sure they could have cleaned it up a little bit to make it a little bit more realistic. However, if you can just ignore that little element of it, everything else is pretty much spot on.
Absolutely.
As we all know, David Gordon Green does do a lot of fan service, almost too much sometimes. But when it comes to the details about what he wants to show you in his Halloween movies, he does not disappoint. He did it right, especially with his house. And I'm not the only geek when it comes to the Myers house. Fans flock to it from all over the world, and I'm sure everyone would like to take a tour inside as well. Now, I doubt that will happen, but at least all of us got to see a probability of what that house has become, a realistic one. From the flashback scenes to the renovated house, everything just seems right. And though there may have been some subtle differences, like the stairs and the hallways being a little wider, wallpaper differences, and maybe a couple of other things, you wouldn't notice unless you're looking for it. You get a true representation all the way down to the size of the rooms, or at least the appearance of it. But no matter how you look at it, you can tell just by the amount of detail and effort put into the Myers house, it proves that this movie, and so far the entire series, was made by Halloween fans for Halloween fans. And for that, I thank them. And I thank you for watching this. And I hope to see you soon. I cannot end this video without a special thanks to the Johns, Big John and Little John, whose love and dedication, as well as their impeccable interior decorating style, will never be forgotten. Godspeed, my friends. Godspeed.